Cool
Hi everyone, welcome back to this channel. My name is Joy Gonoji, and on today's video we have with us Nosmomo, Momo, Momo, and we've been trying to come together to do a video for a long time, but we've had a busy schedule. Like we've had busy schedules each from our sides, and it's been really busy, and especially for her as well, having to combine work with family and all that. I'm a single person, so it's been hard, and finally we were able to make it today, and she created time out of a very busy schedule to come to us today to talk to us about migrating to Ireland, living in Ireland, and every other thing. So before saying thank you, we just get her to introduce herself, say shortly about what she does and every other thing, and then we'll continue from there. So over to you, Nosmomo.
Thank you so much, Ness Joy. Hi guys, my name is Ness Momo, just as Ness Joy introduced me. I'm a registered psychiatric nurse currently in Ireland. Originally, I'm from Ghana. I practiced for 7 years in Ghana before moving to Ireland. Interestingly, I'm also a YouTuber, and I really love this new adventure, if I'll say. It was never part of my plans to become a YouTuber, but one way or the other, by God's grace, I'm now part of the YouTube family, and I love what I'm doing. I love to help others as well. Yes. Thank you, Joy, for the opportunity.
Thank you so much. So towards the end of the video, we'll be dropping her YouTube link on the on the description of this video. Please go visit her, go check her out. She do have amazing videos that you want to check out, especially for living in Ireland. I know that if that's your area of interest. So we're going to be going straight to the point, talking through the step by step of how to migrate to Ireland, as a nurse, as a midwife, or any health professional that you are. And Nosmomo will be putting us through that right from your home country, whether you're from Ghana, from Nigeria. I think it's basically the same step. Hope I'm right.
Yes, you're right.
Great. So let me give you the microphone to put us through the step by step, right from home, right from the day we make the decision that okay, I want to travel to Ireland. Like you have that decision in your mind. Where do we go from there? All right.
Okay, thanks, Joy. The process involved for overseas nurses migrating to Ireland is a bit tricky, but I'll say now it's much simple. Okay, much simpler, if I'll say. I always advise people that if you have plans of migrating to any other country, we all know that you have to get your English proficiency test. Okay.
Yes.
But in Ireland, it's two ways. You can choose to get the English proficiency test, which I mean the IELTS or the OET, before you proceed to registration with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland. Or you can equally start with the process with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland before you get your English proficiency test. Okay. But I always advise people that at least get your English proficiency test first. When you are done with that, at least you are less stressed, Just imagine that you going through all the registration with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland, then you are still not done with your English proficiency test. It's going to be more stressful. So I tell people, make sure that you get your English proficiency test. And I know that people are going to ask that, what is the required band score? Okay, so with the required band score for Ireland, it's just like the UK. Just like the UK. The only difference is that with the UK, they want the 6.5 to be in only writing. Okay, so in Ireland, the difference is that the 6.5 can either be in writing, reading, listening, or speaking. Okay, so it's just one 6.5, but it can be in either of the models, an overall band score of 7. So that is the difference. If you want further explanation, I have a video about this on my YouTube channel where I've actually vividly explained the entire required band score. Okay, so assuming that you are now done with your English proficiency test, which is the OET or the IELTS, what is the next step? That's how I like to go about it. So the next step, it will be for you to now register with the Nursing and Midwifery Board of Ireland. Okay, that's NMBI.
Yeah.
So with the Nursing Midwifery Board of Ireland, that's when you now have to submit some documents. Okay, so you have some documents from your school, some documents from your employer, then there are some personal documents like your passport, and then your nursing certificate, and if you are married, some marriage certificate, and some other things. Okay, yeah. So with the document, you have what we call the qualification form. So when you want to get this document, you just have to register with NMBI. So you go online and then you type www.nmbi.ie. Yeah, then you have to now create an account with them. When you create an account on the website, you can also download this form. So it's actually two forms. One is called the qualification form, and then the other is employment form. So with the qualification form, you have to take that to your school. Okay, that's a college, and then you request for them to complete the form, and then you also have to add your curriculum, okay, to your division. So if it's a psychiatric nurse, they have to give you a curriculum in that respect. If you're a general nurse, just like that, midwife, just like that, and also your transcripts. Okay, so your transcript should also include your clinical and theoretical hours. Okay, so you have to take all of this and then you present it to NMBI. On your portal, you have to upload that. And you also have the employment form. With the employment form, you have to take it to your place of work. If you have any work experience. If you don't have work experience, you have to let them know that you don't have any work experience. So you don't have to fill that form. But if you do have it, okay, you just have to make sure that you complete that form. And we also have designated people that have to fill this form. Okay.
So for the employment form, do you download it from nursing and
from the website?
Yes. Yeah, download it from the website and present to your employer.
Yes. Yes.
Okay.
So in addition to that, yeah. In addition to that, you have to also go to your nursing council and also request for the CCPS or your verification.
Okay.
Yeah. So just as UK, I know that you guys also have a verification. So you also do verification, and then your nursing council in your home country will send your CCPS to NMBI. Okay. So NMBI will be expecting that from them. When you are done with that, there is a section that you also have to upload your passport. You also have to upload your nursing certificate. If all the documents that you are presenting are not in English, you also have to get an official translator. Okay, that will also put all of that, and then you add it as well. So you have all those documents that you have to submit to NMBI. When you are done with the submission of all the documents, you now have to go to the next step, which is the payment. And that is an amount of 350 euros. Okay, so you just have to do this payment, and when you are done with that, you have to relax and then wait for NMBI to now do their work. Okay, so they are now going to assess the document that you've brought in. Okay, so after they are done with the assessments, now they are now going to give you a decision. The decision is actually in three forms. So I'm going to start with the bad news first, and then we'll go to the good news. So with the bad news is a refusal. This when NMBI tells you that after assessing your entire document, we can see that you don't really match up with our educational system. So please, we can't register you. So sorry, kind of thing. Yeah. And then when the next step is going to be either for you to receive what is called the compensation measure. Okay, well, I know whether you've heard a lot of people saying DL, it's called decision letter. Okay, so the decision letter is going to state that, oh, we've actually assessed your documents. We can see that there's a bit of shortfalls in your practical aspect or maybe your clinical aspect. And for you to make up for that, you have to do an examination. Okay, so this examination is in two forms. It's either what you guys call the CBT and the OSCE. We have the same thing. We call it the aptitude test or the RCSI exams. Okay, so in Ireland, I know the UK is just 10 stations, but for Ireland it's 14 stations. Okay, for Ireland, and so it's either you do the theory part and also the OSCE, or you are going to do what is called the adaptation. So the adaptation, in Ghana we call it clinicals. It's like you just going to work with a supervisor, then they'll be assessing you. We have that a lot. So that's what we call the adaptation in Ireland. So you work with a supervisor for a period of 6 to 12 weeks. Okay, yes, so 6 to 12 weeks, and then at the end of the weeks, they're going to check. Your assessor is actually going to give you a results to say, okay, Lucinda is competent, okay, Joyce is not competent, something like that. You fill out the form, and then they're going to present that to NMBI. So with the compensation measure, it's actually determined by your employer. So your employer is going to tell you, I want you to do either the exams or the adaptation. So you cannot choose unless you want to self-sponsor yourself, which is even going to be for the RCSI exams. Okay, and the final decision is what we call the acceptance. So this is when NMBI is saying that yes, we've actually assessed all your documents are perfect, and then we've accepted you directly into our nursing system. You don't have to do any exams, so come register with us. So after that, you just have to give register, and then put in your English proficiency test, and then you get registered. You now look for an employer. Okay, so that is done. If you are done with NMBI, the next step is now you have to now look for an employer. Okay, so if you had straight PIN, which is acceptance, you now have to submit your CV, your and also your PIN directly to the employer, and then you move from there. If you also had the second decision, which is the decision letter, you have to now submit your decision letter, your CV, and then your IELTS. Okay, then you'll be looking for an employer. When you get an employer, you now have to sit for interview, as we all know, in both cases. Okay, so you sit for an interview, and then you definitely have to prepare very well for the interview. Then you make sure that you pass the interview. When you are done with the interview, then your employer is now going to give you something called the offer letter. Okay, so your employer will give you the offer letter stating that, Lucinda, this is the offer we have for you. We are going to pay you this amount based on your years of experience. We are going to do this and this for you. Do you accept? Okay, so you now have to scrutinize the offer letter and then be like, okay, I like it, or I want to try a different person. So it's all dependent on you. If you like the offer, yes, you now go ahead, you sign the offer, and then they will now send in your contract. Okay, so the offer is just giving you an offer before they give you the contract. So if you sign the contract, and you now have to do some few documentations, okay, like we call something vetting, like a police check, okay, and then your employer will now apply for what is called the atypical working scheme or your critical work permit. So that's where the confusion comes in. So the atypical working scheme is just like an exams, visa stating that exams like work permit, if I'll say, just a three months work permit. Okay, that states that Lucinda has to come and complete this exam for 3 months. So that will be for those who had the decision letter. But if you had straight PIN, you don't need nothing like that. You only need your critical work permit. Okay, so for the nurses, we fall under the critical work permit. If it's a healthcare assistant or other jobs, you fall under the general work permit. Okay, so either way, if you receive either the critical skill permit or the atypical work permit, you now have to move on to the next stage, which is the visa application. And I love this stage because you know that you're already in Ireland, so you now have to get all your documents and then submit for visa. Okay, you get your atypical working scheme or critical work permit, your contract, your IELTS exams, your passport, and many other documents that you need. Okay, you have to get that and then submit your documents to the visa application center. So in Ireland, they don't have the visa application center in most of the countries, but they have it this way. They have, let's say in West Africa, we all submit to Nigeria. So they have like a career service called the VFS. So you just have to submit your documents to them, and then they now take it to Nigeria. I know for South Africa, I know they actually cater for Zimbabwe, Zambia, and some other countries. Yeah. Okay, so you just submit to South Africa as well. And then when your visa comes in, straight to Ireland to come and either work, okay, if you had the straight PIN, or if you came on the decision letter, you now have to come and complete your exam. So that's how it actually works. Yes.
I have a question. Being an audience that wants to
let the question flow now. Yeah, that's how
all right. So towards the in the part where you talked about the exams before the adaptation exam, I think you mentioned 2 exams. One was OSCE. Was the second one CBT? Do you have to write CBT?
Okay, so it's either the adaptation or the aptitude test. So the aptitude test comprises of the OSCE and then the CBT in Ireland. So you do both. Then with the adaptation, it's just working at the clinical setting just to prove yourself that I'm fit for this job, Yeah.
Okay. So that's how the CBT is just the same like the one you do in the UK, that you do the theory back home in your country, and then you do the OSCE in Ireland.
So in Ireland, you have to do both in Ireland. You do the theory in Ireland, and then you do the practical also in Ireland.
Okay, so you do both the CBT and OSCE in Ireland. You don't do any of them in Nigeria or in your country. Yeah. All right. And then same thing with the adaptation something.
You have to come to Ireland to complete it. Yes.
Okay. Do you have to go there to complete it, then come back home, or you?
No. When you pass, when you are done, then your employer will now apply for your critical work permit for you. Okay. Then you just register into the when you pass, they are actually going to submit the forms that Lucinda is competent, she has passed. Submit to the nursing council, you get your PIN. When your PIN comes in, then your employer will now apply for your work permit, which is a critical work permit for you to be able to stay in the country. Yeah.
So you will be there already. You don't have to go back home again.
No, you don't have to go back and forth. No.
Okay. So you just travel there, do everything, stay there, and remain to work.
Yeah.
Great.
That's how it works.
All right. It's a bit similar to the UK process, though. I think the only
There's just a
difference is
slight
that
difference. Yeah.
yeah, it's just the slight difference that you have to do the CBT at home because in the UK for UK nurses, willing to come and work in the UK, you do the CBT in your home country, then you do the
Yeah.
OSCE in the country like the island in UK, and then
Yeah.
your employer
Yeah.
is the one that sponsors you for UK OSCE, and then they also pay for your CBT, but then you do it at home. You can do it in your home country.
Yeah.
But this one you're doing both of them here. I know that. But they are going to sponsor your exams and all that, won't they?
Yes. Most employers will sponsor your the payment. Yes.
Okay. Will they
And then
also
with the
pay for the
adaptation, you are
other
going to be
thing?
paid. So during the adaptation, you're also going to receive like a stipend, okay, an allowance during
Okay.
the 6 to 12 weeks. It's usually like 525 per fortnight, per every 2 weeks. I think so. Yeah, yeah.
So what does
So a
that
month to
cover?
be. So it's just like at least you'll be receiving that, okay, because you are still in the country and you are working. So you'll be receiving that so that you can also take care of your rents and all that. So you are done.
Okay.
Yeah.
So 525 euros per two
I
weeks.
think per week. I think per week. If I'm
Per
not, if
week.
I'm not too sure. I think it's almost like 2,000 per month. If I'm not too sure.
Okay.
Yeah,
Okay.
yeah,
Okay.
yeah. But
2,000 per
you
month.
can just. I have a video about it also, like the salary range. Yeah.
Okay. All right. All
Mhm.
right. So what was I going to ask? Do they refund you for your IELTS, visa, flight, and all that?
So previously, the IELTS they were not refunding, but now I think the government sector they're actually doing a lot of refund. So
Oh.
they are now refunding the IELTS and also the flights. And they're also helping with accommodations. So it's a whole package. Okay, and then you also have with the private sector, it's private, so they are actually going to. It's also part of the offer, telling you are going to reimburse, let's say, your flight, your NMBI cost, which is a 350 euros. A lot of them actually do that, and then some other things. When you even come to the country, you have to now get what is called the residency permit, which is 300 euros. Some employers will refund that, some wouldn't. So it differs. It's not standard. Some people will do this, some people wouldn't do that. So
Yeah.
it all depends on you. It all depends on you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So how long does this process take?
Okay, with the duration, I'm always very very skeptical about giving any specific duration. I think my entire process it was like 10 months. I think at first the NMBI process was a bit stressful. Okay, it was really lengthy, but now they've done so well. The process is very fast and all that. Within 6 weeks, people are getting their decision letter. Within 4 weeks. So after that, right now the issue is the red list, which is making the whole employment phase very slow. But if not for that, I bet people will be coming to Ireland within 4 months and 3 months. So we are hoping that this credit list issue will be solved, and then the entire employment process will be swift. Yeah.
It's been going on for really really long, to be fair.
Yeah.
Okay. And then what's the salary like there? Do you think it's higher than what UK nurses get paid, or is it roughly the same, or is it smaller?
Okay, so in Ireland you are being paid based on your experience. Okay, so if you have 0 years of experience, you get paid like an Irish nurse who also have 0 years of experience. If you have 10 years of experience, you get paid as an Irish nurse with 10 years of experience. So it's not like the UK that you have to start from band 5. I tell people every country is good so far as it's not from your. It's better than your home country. Even though some countries will pay you more. So when it comes to Ireland, your years of experience actually matters. Okay, so I always tell people that if you have lots of years of experience, why go to the UK and start from scratch? Just come to Ireland. That will actually going to value your years of experience. Yeah.
But it's the same salary though. Like if for instance you have 1 year experience, you're being paid like, is it roughly £2,000? Can you give us an idea? 2,000 euros? Is it euros there? Yeah, currently.
So because it's based on your experience. Okay, so it's difficult for me to just give like a specific amount. Okay, but I know that even if you don't have a good years of experience, it might be more than 2,000 per month. And then in Ireland, you are being paid based on your you are being paid every fortnight, every 2 weeks. So every 2 weeks, someone with less years of experience might get over 1,000 euros. That's 1,100 or 1,200. Someone who is a starter, and then maybe someone, if you're able to do a lot of extra shifts, you can get like 1,500, and then if you have very good years of experience, you can even get 2,300 or 2,500 every 2 weeks.
Maybe you people are hearing it too. Yeah,
So it depends on your years. It depends on your years of experience. If you have very good years of experience, you can make like 2,300, 2,000 every 2 weeks. So
Yeah.
like in a month with whatever I'm mentioning right now plus overtime, okay, or the plus overtime. So if you have a very good years of experience, you can be clocking like 5,000, 4,800 every month. Okay, so it all depends on your years of experience and also how available you are to also do like extra shifts. The extra shifts are then it's there. It all depends on you. Yeah.
Okay. All right. So what's the accommodation there like? Is it expensive? Is it cheap?
Ah, just like any other country, the accommodation issue, and now I say it's a worldwide crisis. It's everywhere. People say they are not running to Canada, and I'm like, Canada, they're
Are
also
we
having the
running
same.
short of houses or something? I need to be aware because it's same thing in the UK, which is really
With the accommodation, it's everywhere. It's everywhere, my
yeah.
dear. It also depends on where you get your employer. Okay, the city is much expensive than like the counties. So if you are staying in the city, it's expensive. You might get like 800 to 1,200 euros for a single room. If it's shared accommodation, you might get like 700. That is a city. But when you go our outskirts, the counties, they are much better. They have some houses like 800 euros for 3-bedroom house. Like when you go to the northern part, like Donegal, like the Midlands, those places are very good. So they have other counties that are very good. Currently, I'm out of Dublin because it's very, very expensive. And then I got a house at a very good rate. That's where I am now. So, and I know the government also have some new policies that they are trying to help out, and it's amazing. I'm hoping that everybody gets to benefit. Yeah.
Wow. So did you mention Dublin?
Yes, that's the city. Yeah.
So Dublin is in Ireland actually, because I know they have this close relationship with Northern Ireland. They are very close. And when I went to Northern Ireland the other day, a friend of mine said, "Oh, I was in Dublin," and I'm like, "Oh, okay." Like
from Dublin to Northern Ireland is like 2 hours.
wow. Wow,
Yeah.
that's interesting.
Yeah.
That's really interesting. Then I saw the map. Like Northern Ireland was just like joining. It's even closer to Northern Ireland than UK. Like than Northern Ireland.
Northern Ireland is Ireland. Ireland is Ireland. It's just the whole thing that happened that they are now part of UK. So it's just like Ghana, and then the northern part is now in a different country. So it's the same country, but I don't want to go there now. So
I'm just getting to know now. I don't know much of history, but then the little I know now, I think I'll go and read on it. All right. In terms of raising kids in Ireland, what do you think it is? Is it difficult? Is the school fees cheap? How is it like overall? And carers as well. Getting carers for your kids.
Okay, so in Ireland, education is free. Okay, I think for primary, and then I think secondary for when it comes to the university. Okay, if you're an Irish, you have a huge discount. If you're international students, you can also look out for some scholarships. So for now, those with young kids, education is free. You just have to pay like a tiny amount, like 30 euro for like getting registered into the system. Books is free. It includes everything. So education is free. Okay, and then when it comes to raising kids, I'll say that Ireland is very friendly. It's a very friendly country. I love most of the Irish people. I won't say they're 100%. Even from where I come from, racism is still there. We have people, doing the same thing. So it's just like any other country. But Ireland, it's really scarce for you to have that kind of people like discriminating against you and all that. So it's not 100%, but it's very. I'll say that it's the best when it comes to raising kids and family. Yeah.
Okay, so do you get someone to take care of your kids when you are going to work on time? Is it expensive or?
I haven't tried that before, and I don't know that it's not very popular in Ireland. I'll say that they have schools around. You can try some crèche. I know the crèche is a bit expensive also, but you can also try the crèche as well. You can also look out for people that will take care of your kids. I haven't tried that, or you can just work out with your husband. When it comes to shifts, then you guys can then work out on it. Yeah,
because that's a very, very big problem for those of us in the UK. It's very, very expensive getting the carer per hour and all that. Like really expensive. You'd rather stay away from working than actually paying the carer.
Yeah.
All right. So I guess it's not the same there then. So living condition there, do you think is really comfortable? Do you think I don't know if you've probably been to the UK, but can you like compare it? Like, which is better? Let me
Okay,
know if I'm
I only
okay.
came to the UK to visit my friend. That is all. I just came back. I haven't really lived in the UK, but I think here it's not bad. Accommodation is a major issue. When it comes to salary, at least you still get something to save. Not just something, but a very good amount to save. When it comes to health is, I know, is free up to 7 years for the kids. And then from there, you can also register with. We have a lot of insurance companies that you can just register with. Maternal health is also free. So it all depends. When it comes to groceries and all that, they are not really, you don't buy much. When you go to the Lidl's and the Tesco's, how much are you even buying? When you have a family, like 300 euros or 200 should be less.
Yeah.
Yeah. Then you also have light and some stuff. Like, it's not bad. At the end of the month, you still have like 1,000 or over 1,000 to save, because imagine you are getting like 4,000 plus extra shifts a month.
Yeah.
You should be able to use the 2,000, or let's say the 3,000, to take care of yourself. You can even save 1,000. If you're a family person. If you are single, good for you. You get to save more. So yeah, that's how
For
it works.
us.
It's not really good for you like that, because if you're a couple and then both of us are also working, you also get more. And one interesting thing
I
is that
always
in Ireland,
consider that. Like, I'm like,
yes,
this one is receiving 2,000. This one is receiving 2,000. That's like
thank you.
4,000. How much are you paying for rent? Like, it's even better to be married than actually being single. Because when you're single, you're paying for the whole rent yourself, including food. But when you're like married, 2 to 4, like, you get to pay only maybe 1,000 at most for rent, and then you keep the rest. Damn it.
Yeah.
I'm actually
Definitely. Yeah.
Well, that's really amazing.
And when it comes to child benefits as well, Ireland, they don't really care. They are not going to say that you have to be a citizen first. You also get a stipend like any other citizen in Ireland, any other resident. So like 140 euro per month.
Important question: like, how long does it take to get your citizenship?
So with a citizenship, it's supposed to be after 5 years. So you are qualified to apply after staying in the country for 60 months, which equates 5 years. So after 5 years, you can just apply for citizenship. So
and
after 2 years, yeah. So for critical work permit, like for us, after 2 years, you can apply for what's called the stamp 4. So the stamp 4, right now, I'm only entitled to work with just one employer for the first 2 years. And then after the first 2 years, I can now apply for what is called the stamp 4. Okay, so with the stamp 4, I'm not bounded to apply work with just one employer. I can work with 2 employers, or 3 or whatever, depending on what I want. It's not like the UK that I have to be on sponsorship like 5 years, So that's how it works. Then, after 5 years, you get to apply for your citizenship as well. If you came on a general work permit, that is different. With general work permit, I think you have to be on the work permit for like 5 years or for 4 years. I'm not too sure, before you can now apply for your stamp 4. So it's a bit different. But those who came on a critical work permit, it's much simpler and much interesting. Yeah.
Okay. And then you get to get your passport, Irish passport, after 6 years?
Yeah, approximately. After 5 years you can apply. So it depends on how long the whole system. The whole process.
Similar with UK as well. Then it's similar to the UK.
Yeah.
Okay, so I needed to ask one question. What's the hours of jobs? Like, how many hours do you get to work per day, per week? Is it the same as the UK? And then the sites to apply for jobs as well.
Okay, so when it comes to the hours, you actually run a 12-hour shift system. Okay. So you go for 12 hours in a day or night. Okay, I know some people do like 13 hours and they work three shifts every week. So it depends on the company or the hospital as well. Yeah. And you can take extra shifts. I know that you can have like only 20 hours. It doesn't work like that here. Here you can work like at least you don't have to break down, but like
your back break.
Restriction. No, you don't have to break down. Like, the employer will definitely caution you when you're overworking, definitely. But you can take 3 or 2 shifts during the week, at least per week. That is fine. When it comes to some job sites, we have irishjobs.ie. I'll be sending you the link. irishjobs.ie. We have Indeed. Okay. Those sites, and or even LinkedIn. So LinkedIn is also very important. I tell people to create a very good LinkedIn profile because it has been very helpful. So you can get that as well, and then just be prayerful as well, and then look forward to getting a very good employer. Yes.
All right. And what was I going to say? Do you use and track jobs, or that's not included?
Which jobs?
Track jobs. Do you even know about it? Trackjobs.com.
Yeah.
No.
No, I don't. I don't even know about them. But I know now they have lots of sites. So if there's any good site, you can just
It's probably
put that
not,
in.
because that's mostly for the UK. For those of us coming to the UK, that's our main job site. So
Okay.
I'm guessing Irish jobs, the one you send in to me now. I'll drop that under the description of this video. So if you want to apply, just click on the link. Irishjobs dot whatever com.
.ie or Indeed or LinkedIn. Yes.
Okay, or LinkedIn. Perfect.
Okay, dear.
Do you have any advice for us that wants to move? Like, what do you think we should do? What do you think we should be aware of? Something I've not touched, because I'm just trying to think of it. As a fresher coming from the country, what should they be aware of? Whoever is watching this video right now.
Okay, this course is always very interesting because it's usually our last words. Okay, guys, for me, I always tell people that if you have any plans of traveling to any country, okay, just go for it. Okay, I know sometimes it's very difficult when it comes to the IELTS or the OET, the English proficiency test. I know it's very difficult. People tend to give up, and then they always look for shortcuts. I know that it's not the same, for everyone, because our fingers are not the same. But if you have the opportunity and you're a nurse, try as much as possible to complete your English proficiency test and then come as a nurse. If you are not a nurse and then you have the opportunity to come, that is fine. It's fair. Okay, come in. It doesn't matter whether it's a UK, whether it's a Canada, whether it's Australia, wherever you get the opportunity, grab it. But if you are able to grab Ireland too, I'm here to help you and I'm here to welcome you to my country. Yeah, because Ireland is actually going to consider your years of experience. So if you have lots of years of experience, please, if you want to go to the UK, forget it. Just come to Ireland and get good money for yourself. And please don't give up.
Great. Thank you so much. Thank you very, very much.
Thank you so much, Joy. Finally, we are done with the video.
Visit our website, visit our YouTube channel. She has a
very important. And subscribe and like the video, and please share the video as well.
Share, like, and don't also forget to subscribe to this very one you're watching. Your host. It's free of charge. Subscription is free. Just do it for us. Support us. Tell us you love us. You love what we're doing, and thank you for watching. Until we see next time, my name remains Joy Gonoche, and this is Noswobo. Have a nice day, everyone.
Thank you. Bye.